Former Niger Delta freedom fighter Sobamabo Jackridge has described as ridiculous the federal government's support for the recently commissioned Dangote refinery when the nation's 3 refineries are moribund. Mr. Jackridge, who was the governorship candidate of the National Rescue Movement in March 11 governorship election in the state, accused the outgone Buhari administration of paying lip service towards revamping the nation's moribund refineries.
Melekere had said the importation of petroleum products will be stopped by mid-2023. However, the NNPC failed to show commitment in ensuring that the 3 refineries of Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna come back to their full operational capacity. The NNPC, affirmatively a competitor, decided to purchase 20% shares in Dangote Refinery, a private entity, thereby enabling it gain advantage over the government-owned refineries. Now, the NNPC went further to become the supplier of the nation's crude to Dangote to the tune of 33,000 barrels for the next 20 years. All these investments in a private facility, while the nation's refineries remain moribund, are to say the least worrisome.
Sobamabo Jackridge also called on the 10th National Assembly to probe the over 26.5 billion naira expended on the turnaround maintenance of the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries by successive governments.
We call on the 10th National Assembly to probe the failure of full operation of the 3 nations' refineries despite assurance by the immediate past administration that it would facilitate the complete rehabilitation of the Warri and Kaduna refineries before the end of the administration's lifespan, after it approved $1.5 billion for the turnaround maintenance of the Port Harcourt refinery. Now, the National Assembly should probe the activities of Melekere and intensify efforts on the ongoing probe of the CBN under the regime of its suspended governor, Godwin Emefiele, over their roles on the failure of the country's petroleum industry under former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Away from that, the police van stationed at the sealed filling station of former lawmaker Chinyere Igwe has left the premises 10 months after it was sealed. The former lawmaker representing Port Harcourt Federal Constituency 2 was an ally of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, who had a political running battle with the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Our correspondent, who visited the filling station located at Adelabu Ojoto Street, Mile 2, Diob axis of Port Harcourt, reports that the filling station has been unsealed and it's operating. Recall that the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on August 20, 2022, ordered the shutdown of the filling station and the arrest of the owner on allegations that he was involved in illegal oil refining activities. An allegation the former lawmaker has since denied. The chairman of Andoni local government area, Erastus Awotu, has applauded Governor Siminalayi Fubara for revoking the Andoni Unity Road project. As you may know, Governor Siminalayi revoked the Andoni Unity Road contract due to slow pace of work by the contractor and re-awarded the project to another contractor. Mr. Awotu said the visit of the governor to the road is in less than 14 days in office has brought a sigh of relief to the people of Andoni, who, according to him, were disappointed at the failure of the contractor to deliver the project before the end of the Wike administration.
If you recall, the former governor several months ago called the contractor in a meeting with all the stakeholders and they asked them what their requirements were, and he provided for them and was hoping that he would commission the project before he leaves office. But unfortunately, the contractor could not do what he promised, and so it was getting to a point of frustration for the Andoni people. His visit to the site, the present governor, it's a kind of very, very huge sigh of relief for the Andoni people. We are so happy. The feedback I've gotten from my people, both old and young, the chiefs, the women, everybody is happy that the governor, in less than 2 weeks after getting into office, has decided to come and see the state of the road and has made groundbreaking decisions.
The Andoni Council Chairman Erastus Awotu also expressed gratitude to Governor Fubara for promising to commission the Andoni Unity Road project within his first 100 days in office.
Giving the job to a contractor that will be competent to deliver quality and durable project for us. That has been the cry of the Andoni man, and so we are very, very thankful. The way they say, you know a good dancer by his first step. With this step that the governor has taken a few days into administration, it brings a lot of hope, a lot of expectations to the Andoni people that yes, this government is our own and we are going to benefit immensely from this government. On behalf of the people, I I promise that we'll continue to support this government and make sure that it surpasses all other governments that have been in charge in the state.
Garden City Building Material Dealers Association, Port Harcourt, is congratulating Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Governor Ngozi Odio on their election victory and swearing in. A statement by the chairman of the association, Callistus Nadika, Secretary Amarachuku Asi, and Public Relations Officer Chinedu Ofoegbo recalled that the association during the electioneering campaign promised to deliver at the polls and said it kept to its promise. The statement assured the governor of their continued support for the administration through the payment of taxes and levies for the enhancement and sustainability of the state internally generated revenue. The statement thanked former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on the completion of his tenure, which they described as successful, and the official handover to Governor Fubara. According to the statement, the association is grateful that in 2022, despite his busy schedules, he performed groundbreaking ceremony of the ultra-modern building materials market at Umbodoalu in Ikore local government area. The statement also congratulated the chairman of Ikore local government, Samuel Wanosike, as his award of honor of Distinguished Service Star of Rivers State by the immediate past governor of Rivers State. It equally congratulated Azero Okpara for emerging victorious as House of Assembly member representing Port Harcourt Constituency 3 and subsequent inauguration as member of the 10th Assembly. Still ahead, former aviation minister speaks on Nigeria Air controversy. Stay tuned.
Congratulations to our distinguished service stars from Obia.
Security experts have identified poor implementation of laws and slow justice system, among others, as reasons for heightened insecurity in the country. A former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Felix Obaudu, tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that more offences should be capitalized to deter perpetrators.
One of our biggest challenges in this country as a nation is the absence of deterrence. You see, in countries like Saudi Arabia, I think Malaysia too, drug trafficking is a capital offense. So we really need to capitalize on these offenses. Then speedy trials. Our trials take too long in courts. So anybody that's arrested, if you face the result of the law, get convicted and sentenced to prison. But we need to heighten up the punishment for some of these criminal activities. If that will serve as a deterrent to some people, I will deter them from ever getting involved.
AIG Obaudu, who is also a former commissioner of police in Rivers State, warned against politicizing crime or justifying crime.
Our population as a nation has exploded. The level of joblessness, hunger, that's not a reason for people to resort to crimes. Even the disabled still work to earn a living, not talk of those that have their limbs intact, so they're not at school. So we need to sensitize members of the public, warn our children to disease or such things. If anybody is arrested, there's no sentiments of, oh, is the king's son. The doctrine of equality before the law must apply.
He also called for increased police presence in rural areas and setting up of local vigilantes by communities.
Security agencies need to heighten their presence in all the communities. In the past, we used to have police patrol vehicles, blaring sirens that were all over the place. But these days, the vehicles are not enough. And the government doesn't even provide enough for the security agencies. We need to engage the traditional institutions. Security agencies, they are doing their best, but their very best for now is not enough to curtail the security challenges we are facing. Security is a collective responsibility. It's not the exclusive responsibility of security agencies, because the operatives are not found everywhere. In every community, we should try and have a security outfit. We talked about vigilante groups.
Another security expert, Efe Wanogo, corroborated this.
We find that the urban area is largely more police than the rural areas. You will find in some local governments you have just a police division and you have no more than 10 people in the entire RG as police officers. It's grossly not acceptable. So I think that the CP may want to review what he has. And if he has need to deploy more people to those areas, that in a remote area and you have just a division, you have very few arms and ammunition, and you have very few manpower. Criminals in that area know that you have just one rickety patrol vehicle. They know that given the next 3 hours, you will not be there. They know that your manpower is limited. So they are able now to perpetrate crimes and get away with it.
The former Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has finally reacted to the controversies surrounding the unveiling of the new national carrier Nigeria Air 48 hours before his exit. The purported Nigeria Air was discovered to be a hired aircraft from Ethiopian Airlines, repainted and rebranded in Nigerian colors. But in an interview, the former minister said high-powered individuals in the country also contributed to frustrating the good intentions of former President Muhammadu Buhari towards the project. He said the chairman of the Committee on Aviation, Nolim Naji, requested a 5% share in the airline for him and his people, which he turned down and referred him to the stakeholders. Two major speakership aspirants, Aliyu Betara and Yusuf Gabdi, have both stepped down for the preferred APC candidate Tajuddin Abbas for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives. In a statement, the Tajuddin Abbas Benjamin Kalu Joint Task Campaign Office stated that In a statement, the Tajuddin Abbas Benjamin Kalu Joint Task Campaign Office stated that the aspirant and others have formally stepped down for Abbas, thereby dismantling the G7 aspirants who were initially opposed to his candidature. On the news this morning, you heard that President Tinubu is set to make his first Democracy Day address. Stakeholders are assessing Nigeria's 24-year-old democracy. Reactions have trailed the revoking of Anthony Road project by Governor Fubara. Experts are calling for improved security in Rivers communities. Former aviation ministers reacted to the Nigeria Air controversy. The news was edited by Choma Ezemafo. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifeemi Andrew.